There we go. Hi guys, it's Janet Wakeland with Remarkably Created, and we are here with another fun bundle that is debuting September 6th for public purchase. That bundle can be found in this catalog, arriving in mailboxes daily. It is the Stampin' Up! 2023 Holiday Mini Catalog. And if you are not on my mailing list and do not have a demonstrator to provide you with a catalog, simply message me your address and your email and we'll get one out to you. My catalogs include a complimentary first order discount as well as subscription to my free newsletter with over 20 tutorials every single month for you, as well as lots of other fun specials and things like that. So we're going to jump right in and take a look at just one bundle tonight, because again, like last night's bundle, there's just so many things that you can do with this bundle, and I've got quite a few tips for you around the samples that I have to showcase for you. So we're going to look at just one bundle tonight. So this is called the Merriest Trees bundle, and in this set you've got a nice solid big tree. You've got an element that stamps over top of the tree to either create depth or you can create the look of snow. You've got a greeting, we wish you a Merry Christmas, some little snow dots, some little ornaments, a star, two different bows. You've got 4 package shapes. The greeting says, hoping your home is filled with the spirit of the season. To you and yours, love and joy. And then you have this little piece of wood here, which can actually be the stem of a tree. So then let's take a look at all of the dies. Oh my goodness gracious, guys. So many amazing dies in this bundle. So first you have a die to cut the tree. Then you have these 4 dies here, and they will cut all of the 4 different shapes of packages. You have this die here, which is going to cut the stem of the tree. You have 3 of these dies, which is really, really cool when you want to decorate your tree, and we're going to decorate one together at the end of this video. But you stamp the stamp one time, and then it cuts out all 3 ornaments individually. So you'll have those 3 tiny ornaments to decorate with, and you have 3 of those. So stamp it 3 times, die cut it once, you have 9 ornaments. And then you do have dies for the bows, and then you have a die for the 1 star, and then that leaves you with some fun bonus pieces. So you're left with this really fun texturized piece that creates a fun base for the tree. This here is going to cut out 5 pieces of garland. This is just a pretty open work star. You've got 4 snowflakes. You've got a fun tag that I've been using on lots of things. And then this here folds in half. It scores when it cuts, folds in half, and provides the reinforcer for the top of your tag. And then you have 4 additional tree pieces, and I'm going to give you some ideas for using those. So let's jump right into the sample so I can make this set come alive for you. I love sets that just give me so many opportunities to play and all the versatility in the world, and this one is definitely it. So here you can see, again, just cut out the 5 trees. You've got the base, the stars. Here you can see that garland. I didn't do, well, 1, 2, yeah, I don't have all of the ornaments there. The stars, and this is what they would look like without the stamped images. So let's set all of this off to the side, and let's take a look first at our first tip. And let me grab this back. So of course the holiday season is coming, and that usually means gift tags, and I just kept them real simple. And in this case, the only stamping is the to you and yours. You can see the small tree, the granny apple foil star, and I just used the color of the designer paper to guide me in the elements. I stacked 3 of the shapes, these die cut shapes. I didn't even stamp the images. I pretty much die cut, okay? And just tied some ribbon around it. There you can see that reinforcer in action, and some of our baker's white twine. The other thing that's really fun is that greeting, we wish you a Merry Christmas, fits right in the tree. So it's a great way to put that greeting on. And in this case, again, we used the paper to give us our color inspiration, that shaded spruce, the reinforcer, a little gold, little granny apple green bling on that. So real simple. But something else fun that you can do with your tags is you can create your tags so that they actually open. So if you wanted a tag that maybe was the element on the front of your card, or of course here you would be writing on designer paper on the back, and sometimes, you know, you don't want to do that. You want cardstock instead, or you want, you know, again, a tag that opens. What you're going to do is you're going to get a piece of cardstock, and the cardstock needs to be twice the length of your die, because you're going to fold it in half and you actually need 2 pieces of it, okay? So your cardstock needs to be twice the length of your die. And when you die cut, you're going to put this just past the fold. Can you see that little bit of light peeking through there? Just past, just a smidge past. And then that's going to give you your fold just like that. So tags, quick and easy with this set. Again, a tag die goes with everything. There's nothing a tag die doesn't work with. So that alone makes this set, in my world, very, very versatile. So then, keeping it very, very simple, in this case what we did was I just stamped the stamp 3 times. And the only layering is the greeting up here, hoping your home is filled with the season of joy. And let me show you a little bit about stamping off. Let's see if I've got a scrap piece of paper here, and how that might look for you. I don't think oh yeah, I do have the stamp. My stamps are already getting really stained. Photopolymer stamps will stain. I always say that just means you love them and you're using them. Some people are like, oh my God, my stamps are stained. I'm like, they're not stained, they're used. That means I can go through my stamps and go, oh, I didn't really use those. But let's ink this up real good. And I'm gonna stamp it once, what I call full strength. And I'm not gonna re-ink it. I'll stamp it again, and I'll stamp it again. And you can see that each time I stamp it, I didn't get a good coverage on it. But each time I stamped it, it got lighter and lighter and lighter. And that's what I did here, okay? And in this case, this is a smaller piece of basic white cardstock, and I stamped off of the edge of it. I didn't stamp up onto the card because I wanted space for my greeting. And then I just stamped the overlay piece over the top of it. And each time I stamped this stamp, I just moved it down, okay? Because we only have one size stamp, but it looks like I have 3 different trees. So I started with the tree mostly on, and then each time I stamped it without re-inking, I just lowered it down, if that makes sense. So real simple way to work, guys, without, you know, having to go over the top with lots of layering, lots of crazy stuff, as you see when we get ready to decorate the tree. So that's one idea and one tip for you if you're not familiar with it. And this tip of stamping off and creating the shading works best when you start with a darker ink. If you start with a pastel, there's only so far you can go to lighten up that color for you, okay? So then, this is just showing you one of them all blinged up. I used the bright designer paper again, stamped it with Granny Apple Green and Parakeet Party, used the Melon Mambo foils for the tinsel and the ornaments, borrowed the Merry and Bright greeting, a little bit of vellum just to make the tree pop and kind of give a break between the paper and the tree, and some of our flat sequins. Then for this project here, isn't that fun? Designer paper from the Let's Go Fishing set. And let me see if I can tell you which paper this one is. I think this is the Joy of Christmas. And then here we have just one tree. I embossed it with the white. The stars are right from the dies from this set. And then one little other tip for you is, and I'll just use this as an example here, but if you have your cardstock, one of the things that I did was I just took my blending brush, I got a little bit of ink on it, and pretend like this is a die cut. I just kind of went along the edges of my die cut, and I just darkened up the edges of it just a little bit, okay? So I just kind of brushed along the edges and along the bottom, and that just gave it a little bit more depth and a little bit more interest. So again, these trees go with everything, guys. I mean, we've got Merry and Bright paper. Here we've got the Let's Go Fishing paper, the Joy of Christmas happening. Then here is another fun one for you. In this case, we went ahead and created a slimline card. And what's really cool about these dies is they all layer really, really nice. So I can cut as many pieces as I want, and I can just, you know, start to layer a tree, and I could have actually gone even taller if I wanted to with the dies. So here's another tip for you. Look to your designer paper for visual interest. And in this case, this paper is from the Fresh as a Daisy pack. But the Pretty as a Peacock in the Granny Apple Green, a little bit of olive in there, is perfect for that tree. We used the Snowflake embossing folder, and there you can see that sweet little base on there. And again, a little bit of that blending brush just to kind of give a little look of ground there. But again, look for that designer paper. Sometimes that's a good way. If you don't want to take the time to stamp, you don't want just plain cardstock, you want a little bit more oomph, a little bit more visual interest. And then in this case, all of the layers are popped with dimensional. That's what gives that shading and really makes those layers pop. Okay, so that's an idea there for you. Now let's go ahead and let's put a tree together, and we'll give you some tips as we put this tree together. So I went ahead and pre-stamped the tree with Granny Apple Green and Parakeet Party. I have some paper from the Bold and Bright, and then that's our Granny Apple foil. And I'm just gonna lay it the way I envisioned it. So that's the way I've envisioned it. And in this case too, you could obviously just take your little brush, and I can come in here and just soften up those white edges just a little bit. I can either do it by holding it in my hand like that, or where's my scratch piece of paper? Or I can lay it down and I can go around it, just keeping it flat. So either way, I can soften up my edges just a little bit so they're not so stark and they're not so white. So what I've done is I went ahead and pre-cut the packages, I pre-cut the bows and the decorations, and I thought we would put them together. Put this little tree together so you can see how fun it is. And you know, there's times when you want, like this is actually really simple and quick. The only thing here that didn't make it quick maybe was the embossing. Of course, this is a little busier. So there's times when you want simple, and then there's times where maybe you want to amp it up a little bit, you know, kind of like this. And in this case, I used the die just direct on the foil. I didn't stamp it, which made that a little bit quicker. In this case, I stamped them. So I just have my silicone mat here, and I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on it. And I also have the, oh, maybe I will, there we go. I have the putty tool here. The putty tool has a little bit of what's called putty, and it's a little sticky. And that's going to allow me, let's get some of my pieces out here. We'll just dump them all out. And I'm gonna start, I like to start with the garland. I found that that works best for me. And in this case, I'm just gonna tap one end down in there, a little bit in the middle, just because this is so thin and so fragile. In terms of, you know, like trying to put glue on it, and I don't want glue going everywhere. And in this case, I'm not going to use the longest one because I picked the smaller tree, so I'll have an extra one for a future project. There are 5 pieces of garland, and they do just fit kind of nicely side to side on your tree. And let me grab another piece here. You could also cut these apart if you wanted a little bit more. And somewhere in here, there's a shorty. And I'm just dipping it just a little bit. So now I've got my garland on my tree, so it actually goes really quick and really easy. But now I want to put some ornaments on the tree. I'm gonna pick them up stamped side towards me, tap them in that glue again just a little bit, and now I can use my putty tool, kind of keep my fingers from not getting so sticky. It just makes it easier, I find. And then that putty comes, or the glue will come right off your silicone sheet. Yeah, putty will come right off as well too. And you're just gonna keep going, and we're gonna keep decorating. Oh, the set is just so much fun, guys. Again, keeping it simple or taking it big, either way, whatever your preferences. And in this case, I just did all sweet sorbet ornaments, but you could do all kinds of different colors. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to how many, how few, how little. So I'm going to leave it like that for now. And let's just assemble our card here. We've got our foil. Got our stripes. Bold, happy colors. And let's flip that over. I want to raise it up, so I'm going to use something called dimensionals. And does this, like if I was to take them right out of the middle, who out there would just cringe? I usually take them out of the middle, work from the middle out. But we'll see, right? How do you do? Do you start at the edge and work your way around? Or anybody else start in the middle like I do and then work around it? Okay, so we've got this. So I'm just gonna take my little tree trunk, run it through that adhesive that I still have on my silicone mat. We're gonna put that down. We have our star. We're gonna put that up on our tree. And we're gonna take our large package. We're just gonna put these at the tree base. That's why you probably wondered the tree was up a little high, but that's part of the reason why is because, and okay, so I had another 2 packages cut out. We'll find them and we'll have to come back for the finished project, but and we'll finish it all up with those. And we have our teeny tiny little bow we'll put on this package, but you can see I have another little bow cut and ready to go. And then if you wanted to add even more bling, one of the things that I am absolutely enjoying are these flat disc. And they're flat disc, and then there's also flat ones that are these sparkly ones, and they're just perfectly flat. I love them. So if you wanted to add just a little bit extra, you could go ahead and use something like that. And yeah, right there it is. And the easiest way to pick these up and to work with them is with your spatula tool. So we'll just come in here and add a few extra, because as long as we're decorating, right, it's kind of fun to go all the way in. Oh my gosh. There we go. And oh, one more. So that quick and easy is to decorate the card. So lots of possibilities, lots of other products that you can be using with this. First off, this is the You Pick tools and all the different tips and things. This is the spatula tip, this was the putty tip, and these two here, the putty tip and the spatula tip, are part of the basic set. And again, lots and lots of fun dies for you guys to play with. But take a look at that. I mean, look at the sheer variety, guys. Isn't that fun? And I've got a misty moonlight tree sitting on my desk, and then actually looking at a project with working with purples for a tree. So I've got a lot of UFOs, unfinished projects, UFPs, unfinished projects sitting on my desk. So if you love the Merriest trees, you think this is a great bundle, give it a little smile, a little thumbs up. And don't forget to request a catalog if you need one. And we will be back here at 9 o'clock tomorrow night, because there is still amazing product. This catalog is 84 pages long, and it is just full of goodness, guys. So we will see you tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Central. Thanks, guys.